Oilers recall Ike Howard and Quinn Hutson. Where will they play? Will they play? I'm guessing fourth line based on the lines and pairings today. We had bowl games galore, some shockers, NFL weekend, and more straight ahead. The Lowdown is brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Hurry in for their Wish and Win event. Everyone's a winner with a chance to save up to $25,000 towards a new GMC or Buick. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. Okay, as you know, we are live on YouTube, and we thank you for tuning in. Live on Sports 1440 AM radio. We also thank you for tuning in. And then we're online at iHeartRadio, sports1440.ca, Radio Player Canada. After the show, it's Apple and Spotify podcast. We tweet it out on X. We get to you so that you can hear us. It's kind of an ego thing, but we really do appreciate it. You can text or call us at 833-401-1440. It's 833-401-1440. We're on Twitter at Lowetide, Declan Krueger, and at JFenwick04. We have Steve Lansky today from Inside the Truck podcast. We have declinations and so much more. But first, we have the introductions. He took some time off this week to go home for the holidays. He's on no sleep. Chances are he's going to fall asleep in 5 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick.
No, just my one day off. I appreciate everyone here at the station that picked up my slack while I was gone for the one day. So,
we didn't really notice a change. Everybody just basically did what they did and wondered what you actually do all day. So,
well, that's because I did all my work the day previous.
I will say this, that Donovan was like, he was saying, just, then he was complaining a little bit.
Well, you know, that's Donnie for you. But yes, my mom was very happy to have me home for
did
at
she
least
spoil
a day.
you?
No, not really. Like
right.
we went out for dinner one day, on New Year's Eve.
Right.
But yeah, then we sat in the basement, watched When Harry Met Sally and the hockey games and stuff. So
how late did you stay up on New Year's Eve?
I think I was in bed at 12:30.
Oh my God. You're an old man at heart.
Well,
you just are.
Yeah. And then I white knuckled from Pinoca to like 23rd Ave.
I'm telling you,
yesterday.
Once you hit Pinoca or even Pinoca, it could be, I don't know why that corridor is so bad, but it is. All right.
Yeah.
He's in seventh heaven right now with all the bowl games, and I think he has some I told you so's based on what happened to the Crimson Tide last night. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger.
Listen, everyone has some I told you so's.
Not a lot of applause there. We didn't really do much for Declan. There, that's better.
Better.
Well, I mean, this is turning out almost like you said it would, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I was definitely wrong about Ohio State and Ole Miss and Miami.
Oh, Miss, man, that was wild.
Good for them. And you know what? Like, we were kind of, maybe even just you writing their obituary going into the playoff with no Lane Kiffin, but now they've won 2 in a row, including righting the ship against Georgia. So yeah, no, great bowl game action, great playoff action.
And then Indiana.
Oh my goodness.
And you did call that, though. You did say that people would be, because historically speaking, this is such an outlier result. Like if somebody moves here from 1975, there's going to be an investigation.
If someone moved here from 2023, there'd be an investigation. Yeah, it's crazy. Great time in the sports world.
Yeah, it's just awesome. Now, the Edmonton Oilers made a couple of moves today, and it was, sometimes Edmonton is a big, small city. So even though there was no official announcement, there was a lot of, the usual clanging of hammers and whatever, that something was going to happen, and these two young men were going to be recalled. I wrote about it at The Athletic today. I wrote about it on my blog today. It officially happened earlier today, but most of us had written something about it or talked about it. The interesting thing for me, from the point of view of the Edmonton Oilers, is the following. When you call up a player like Ike Howard, who has played in the NHL this year, 17 games, and now you send him down and you go, young man, you go work on things. Okay. So here's the thing. He's worked on them. And like, I don't want to hear one word about these guys. They haven't done very much. I can't believe they called up already. This cat, Ike Howard, has played 16 games in the AHL, 10 goals, 23 points. 8 of those goals and 17 of those points are at even strength. And his even strength goal share is 72%, 23-9, best on the team. Now, Hutson has been down longer this year, 19 goals in 26 games. He splits his offense between even strength and power play about evenly, but he's still at 62% goal share at even strength. So these are bona fide, legit guys. And here's the thing. Today at practice, they were on the fourth line with Savoy. I'm going to run through the lines here right away for you. And look, I get your anger. Like, what the hell is going on out here? But just play the fourth line. If you played that fourth line against the soft parade for 10 minutes at 5-on-5, and you did that for 7 games in a row, I think you'd have good results. I know you'd have more goals than you do when you put the other guys out. So the lines today were McDavid with Nuge and Hyman, Savoy with Howard and Hutson, Henrique with Janmark and Frederick, and then Draisaitl with Mangiapane and Roslovic, but Podkolzin is sick. This is via Bob. And then Lazar Kapanen with the extras, Ekholm Bouchard, Nurse Regula, Stastny Emerson, and Stillman. So with the idea that McDavid, Nuge, and Hyman stays together, and with the idea that Draisaitl, Roslovic, and Podkolzin will play tomorrow when Podkolzin is feeling better, then your depth lines are Henrique, Janmark, Frederick, which is a traditional, we're not going to get scored on very much, but we're never going to score line for the Oilers. And then Savoy centering Howard and Hutson. And I know you're not happy about that line, but you could be happy if they play them enough. This is a total matter of commitment. And I will tell you honestly, I know you're frustrated. You're like, what the hell about this coach? He doesn't play. You know how long this has been going on? Yanni Rita got recalled from the Hamilton Bulldogs, and Craig McTavish was so unconvinced of his two-way ability, he put a defenseman at left wing, Scott Ferguson, and played Rita on a line with a Denver boot offensively. I like Scott Ferguson as a defenseman, but he wasn't a left winger. That's how concerned he was about it. So when we talk about coaches, not liking to play kids, what we should really say is coaches trust old people. And that's why 40 years ago, Oiler fans were mad about Yaroslav Pozar, but the coach loved him. And now fans are mad about Matthias Janmark, but the coach loves him. So I like the idea of the fourth line together if they play, because they'll be playing the soft parade, and I believe all three of those gents can do damage. It's a really good idea, but Chris Knobloch has to, the words of the great philosopher Luba, let it go. Let it go. Just send them out there. And if they make a mistake, don't go, oh, well, that's it. Just let them go. Give them 200 minutes from now until the deadline and see what you have. And I'm not saying it's the kid line, but I am saying these are talented players and they could do some damage. All right, you guys got any thoughts on that?
I think you summed it up well. I think it kind of goes back to what I said at the beginning of the season. Like, it feels like it's a lot of pressure on their shoulders that I think is maybe a little unfair, might be harsh, but it's just a really tough spot to be in, right? Like when you're these young guys, and they're not playing in the top 6 as it stands right now. Like that line is obviously like incredibly young. That's the baby line. But it just feels like they still have kind of the weight of the world on their shoulders based on this team's expectations. And Ike's been playing very well, and both been playing very well in Baco, and obviously deserve the shot. But it's like when you have to come up and when you have to conceivably or theoretically be a contributing two contributing members and put together what appears to be a bit of a skill line, even though they're not depth charted as a skill line. Like, it's a lot to ask of 2 young players. So. Yeah.
And I think that the soft parade, if they get that, I think they will answer strongly. Any thoughts from you, Josh? You've been watching young players fail in Calgary quite often, so you might be able to offer
What are you
some
talking
insight.
about? Dustin Wolf succeeding big time.
Yeah,
Kevin Cooley succeeding big time.
How's Dustin Wolf doing this year?
Doing well enough.
Yeah.
Right,
well, he's trying to help them get a draft pick, which is what I'm about. So
yeah, well, everyone's doing the best they can.
We're doing the best we can.
Literally, that game against the Flyers was an absolute beatdown. It was a nuts watch. Anyways, yeah, I at least want to see. I think I want to see a Ryan Nugent Hopkins third line with Howard and Hutson on his wings.
I think that's a nice idea. I
Let the
just don't
kids
think
play.
they'll do it. Like, in order to do that, you have to say to the best player on earth, you're going to have to carry a guy.
I don't think he'd have to carry put Roslovic up there.
Nuge allows that top line to like hammer the gods offensively. Nuge is a really astute defensive player. I think he's the he's performed at high levels with both Leon Draisaitl as center and McDavid, and I think they value him that way. So I would keep them in pairs. I would keep McDavid with Hyman, and I would keep Draisaitl with Podkolzin. And after that, you can mix and match. But I don't think Nuge is coming off the top line. I would put him at third line center. I want you to know that.
Yeah.
But I don't think they will.
They have because I actually I'm fine with Nuge on the wing. I've always liked Nuge on the wing, but it is funny to think they do theoretically have 4 centers right down the middle with McDavid, Draisaitl, Nuge, and Henrique.
But they never use them that way.
Exactly.
It's just the most irritating thing ever.
I also like Nuge on the wing, so I'm not I'm not too upset about it. And I specifically like him on the wing with McDavid.
It's like this show. There's 3 hosts and only one guy talks a lot. But we love you anyway, Declan.
Do I talk?
I talk way more than both of you.
Well, as it should be.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, continue.
Oh, I had kind of wrapped up my point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Just that it's like you see the different iterations of who they throw out there at 3C. And I guess when Henrique was playing 3C, 4C, and you're like, we kind of feel like we have 4 centers we could run right down the middle successfully. And instead, I've watched Trent Frederick play center. I've watched Jack Roslovic play center. I think I've watched Matthias Janmark play center on the 4th line. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. I had a couple of people talk to me yesterday about why didn't you talk about Noah Philp being lost on waivers? Well, here's the thing. I really like Noah Philp. I cheer for Noah Philp, and I hope he does really well. But there was an opportunity here this year for not just Noah Philp, but David Tomasic and a bunch of guys. And Noah Philp didn't get it done. I understand everybody's mad at the coach. I get that. But what was the coach looking for? A right-handed center who can win faceoffs and hammer people and is big, has high value. Now, Carolina is going to take him and work him in their system, and he'll probably do really well. But they needed more from Philp, and he didn't have it for whatever reason. Now, he's not alone. And that was perhaps unfair. A more established player like Janmark can find his way. Philp was not able to. But I think Troy Stetcher was a bigger loss. That's just my opinion. And I think that when we're talking about players like Noah Philp, who are, and don't get mad at me, I'm just describing a player. I'm not putting anybody down. They are complementary players. They are not in life. There are, and all of us at whatever job we have, there are aces and kings and jacks
and jokers.
Well, you're right. And they're at the top. They're the McDavids and the Draisaitl's. And most teams don't have them. And so they've got a lot of 8s and 9s and 10s that are really good, but they're not at the highest level. And the Oilers don't need 8s and 9s and 10s, although they do have a couple in Hyman and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I'd put Ekholm there. But the Oilers are losing because they can't get the 5s and the 6s and the 7s. And you should never do that. That's a crime against humanity. And I meant what I said. It is. You're a fan of the Edmonton Oilers and you're losing games because they can't find a third line left winger. What in hell is going on? And that's where we are. And you can say, well, they wanted to give everybody a chance. I don't really buy that. I don't. David Tomasic finally got let go after they lost Stetcher and they lost Philp. They could have done that earlier. And now you call up these 2 cats and you're going to put them on the 4th line. And if you don't play them 10 minutes, then I'm going to be here on Monday and I'm going to be rapping about that in a really negative way. Because, you have a problem. It is not the world's biggest problem. There's a lot of coaches who don't have Connor McDavid and don't have Leon Draisaitl. So when you have those 2 guys and you can't get a 3rd and 4th line to score at 50%, then I think that's on the management and the coaching staff. They owe it to this team, they owe it to the players, and they sure as hell owe it to the fans to give these guys an opportunity, whether it be on the fourth line playing 10 minutes or elsewhere. If we come along a week from now and we're talking 6 minutes for Howard and 6 minutes for Hutson, then there should be more hell than a little bit, and there will be here, I promise. Okay. NFL weekend, that big Baltimore game is what everybody's talking about, or do you like one more than that?
Personally, that'll be the one. I just want to ask one question about Noah Phillip quickly. I know we kind of passed it over a couple minutes ago. You said you think he's going to end up being, a good productive player in Carolina. You don't think like when they get healthy, he just ends up back on waivers?
I think Phillip is the kind of guy Carolina likes. The center,
Right.
He's big, he can skate okay.
Right hand.
They're sort of like they're like Lego, and a lot of teams are like Duplo blocks. Do you know what I mean by that?
I mean, I know what Lego is.
Do you know what Duplo blocks
I don't know what are they like Mega Blocks?
They're just big blocks.
I think I understand the reference.
Right.
I don't know, like to put Carolina, this is how I understand the reference, to put them as the premier organization, the way they build a team. Is that what you meant?
What I mean is they Rob Brindamore wants specific player types. When they sent away Warren Fogle, it took a long time for him to find a replacement, and they didn't find Ethan Bear useful very much, right? So when they go get a player, no matter who it is, that player will be ground into a system that works. I think Phil, because of his size and his speed and his brain, he's a smart guy, I think he'll fit really well into that system. It's not an easy system to play, but it is a system that you're going to get playing time in if you're Noah Phil. I think he'll do well. I think they know what they want, Declan. Like, what's a football?
See, this is what I really need, a football analogy.
Okay, so
that's when it really starts.
Tell me a football team that no matter what they do, they always have really good. Okay, the Philadelphia Eagles on the offensive and defensive line, they always have guys coming up, right? And that's sort of like Carolina. They always have guys who fit their system coming in, and you might not hear about them for the first year or two, but then they'll play, and then they'll be quite good. And the Hurricanes have been like, they don't have a super duper star. They try, but they can't get one down there. They will eventually. But they have to have players who can play and almost be a plug and play. And they have guys on the second line who can play on the fourth line and vice versa. They're quite, they have quite a lot of utility. And I think Phillip does have that. He's big, he can win faceoffs, he can penalty kill, although they didn't trust him to do it here. It doesn't always, mean it'll happen in the same town. Hell, Troy Stetcher's playing 25 minutes a night out in Toronto.
Yep. Scored the other night in the Winnipeg game, right?
I don't know what to think about the Winnipeg Jets. My God,
it's bad.
That's like
Was it 9 in a row?
Yeah, you're like because in sports it happens all the time, right? So like if you don't look, all of a sudden you're like, yeah, everything's going well, and it is not. And I don't know what they can do because they kind of got their way with a lot of the guys they wanted to sign. And now they are who they are. So I don't know that they have somebody in the pipeline who can change this. I don't know that that's the case. What's declinations today?
Friday, or if you went to my high school, Fries Day in the cafeteria, fries, poutine, and a drink, $5 meal deal. Me and Josh are going to be giving our top 5 sports wish lists for 2020.
So how much food did you get for $5?
So you got a poutine, you got a drink, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was very good. My high school did the chicken wraps very well. Not the poutine as much.
Did you have like a cafeteria in-house maker person?
Yeah. We had 2.
Was it Mrs. Andrews?
No, she was elementary. It was Rhonda? And someone else.
Help Me Rhonda is one of my favorite Beach Boys songs. Ba, 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 ba. Hell. Could we play that?
Yeah.
All right. That'd be really good. Okay. Well, there's rumors on the way, and we have more than just rumors. We've got factual, actual. The Oilers were called 2 players, and you won't believe the team that's in on Alex Bregman, free agent third baseman. All straight ahead. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
When it snows and you have a Honda, let it blow, let it blow, let it blow. Ditch the driveway shovel because right now at Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo, save up to $400 on Honda dual-stage snowblowers. Take whatever winter throws at you and throw it back with iconic Honda reliability. Available for a limited time only at Riverside Honda and Ski-Doo. 15 Inglewood Drive in St. Albert and always at riversidehonda.com. Shop local, shop Canadian.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the Center Bar. Plus, catch this fall's biggest games. Every goal, every tackle, every home run. River Creek is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Ever had a problem returning auto parts? At Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock, we do things differently. Hi, it's Lisa, and we're proud to offer one of the best return policies in the business. When you shop with us, you buy with confidence, knowing that if it doesn't fit or if it's not the right part, we'll make it right. For nearly 50 years, Ed's Auto Salvage has helped Alberta drivers save money, stay on the roads, and shop stress-free. Trust the team that stands behind every part we sell. Visit us at edsautosalvage.com.
Winter in Alberta doesn't mess around.
And neither does Titan Supply.
For over 50 years, we've earned the trust of our customers across a variety of industries.
Because we lead with integrity,
honesty,
and respect.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Brent from Titan Supply. When the weather hits hard,
we're fully stocked with rigging, lifting, and hauling gear that works as hard as you do.
Titan Supply.
Built on trust, driven by safety.
Serving Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary.
Let us help you face the weather the Titan way.
Visit titansupply.ca.
You know, this year I can't decide what to work on for my New Year's resolution. See, my confidence, my appearance, or my general happiness.
Why not improve all three by finally addressing your hair loss? Hi, I'm Dr. Vancelia. Receding hairlines and bald spots can chip away at your self-image, make you look older, and feel unattractive. Let's discuss your options for regaining a full natural head of hair and make this the year you get your mojo back. Book a free first consultation today at drvancelia.com.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Wish and Win event on now. Everyone's a winner. Check it out at wolfgmcbuick.com. Playing the Beach Boys on a day like today. Whoa, that's bold. Bold, baby. Because we've had weird days. This is when people get sick because we had one day that was gorgeous. Next day, cold and windy. And today's sort of like in between, but the roads are a little icy. We're driving in today, and two vehicles in front of us by the new car wash, which is a fantastic car wash. They both hit their brakes at the same time, and both went left, which you're not supposed to do. But they just hit a patch of ice and went sideways, and it was a good reminder for me, and I will remind you, be careful out there. Lights on, 60 to 80 car lengths. Listen, I try. It is time for Rumors, brought to you by Great Canadian Solar. Great Canadian Solar has been helping homeowners and businesses harness the power of the sun for 15 years. Invest in solar and yourself. GreatCanadianSolar.com. So the Edmonton Oilers have recalled two players, Isaac/Ike Howard and Quinn Hutson, two players of the three from the hottest line in the AHL. Josh Szymanski hasn't made an appearance yet, but you never know. That might be around the corner. The next thing you should know is that they were on the ice today, and the lines and pairings were extremely interesting. And so we're just going to go over them. There was illness in Vasily Podkolzin, so the lines aren't perfectly what we will see tomorrow. But it goes like this: McDavid with Nuge and Hyman, nothing changes there. Draisaitl with Mangiapane and Roslovic. We suspect that we will see Roslovic and Podkolzin on that line tomorrow. Third line, Henrique with Janmark and Frederick. This is via Tony Brar. And the fourth line is Matt Savoy centering Ike Howard and Quinn Hutson. Now, some of you will be upset the fourth line, but actually that's a good spot to be in, because when you're the fourth line, and let's say there's an offensive zone start and the top line has just come off the ice, you can throw those guys out there and maybe they score. And I think that's what they're looking for. They're looking for a catalyst. They're looking for competition, because from what I can tell on based on what we're looking at here, Mangiapane won't play. They'll slide Podkolzin in. And then Lazar and Kapanen not back yet, but soon, are the odd men out. Now, it could be that Mangiapane moves down and plays with Hutson and Savoy and they bench Howard, but I don't know why you do that. You call them up, put them in the lineup. Fourth line plays 10 minutes at 5-on-5. I'm going to endorse it. They don't, then I think it's a mistake. And we'll see. The idea that a fourth line like that one can't do real damage against depth players when the Oilers have last change, I'm gonna push back on that. I think this is pretty ideal. And I know that a lot of people are not, fantastically high on the coach right now, but I think that is a really good idea. If they use that line, the fourth line, at home, last change, giving them offensive zone starts, off face-offs, or even, on the fly, jumping out there when things are heading north, I really like it. I really like the idea. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, and if it doesn't, I will not like it, and I will tell you. Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Regula, Stastny, Emberson, Stillman, the odd man out. Jake Wallman, day-to-day, and has been since the early 2000s. Pickard in net, Ingram the backup, and that's the way they're probably going to go, depending upon Podkolzin and illness tomorrow. LT saying Stetcher was the bigger loss is quite the take. I think that people get mad because they're looking about well, that's a guy who could help us for a long time. Yes, he could, but they're trying to win the Stanley Cup now. And I really like Ike Howard. I do. I really like him. But if the cost of Alex Tuch is Ike Howard, then where are we in the winning cycle? Where are we in the winning cycle? What are you trying to do? You want to get Tuch for a first-round pick. You want to get Tuch for something else. But if push came to shove, let me ask you, two Joker men, Bob Dylan song. If the deal is call Buffalo, Jarmo Kekalainen, completely unreasonable, says the only deal I'll make is if you send me Ike Howard, I'll give you Tuch. Do you make the deal?
Was that a question for us?
Yeah, I think that's
yes,
what it was.
Okay. I said that. I called you
yeah, I make that
names,
deal.
but yeah.
Sorry,
Damn good deal.
I was editing.
Oh, sure. I
previewing
understand. Busy time counting out your coins for the laundromat later. There's very busy time in your life.
Man, don't even get me started on how much the price of laundry is at my apartment building.
$2.75 a load. You should come to my house.
Would love that. I make that trade in a heartbeat, though.
Okay.
I want the proven product over.
If I invited you over to my house to do laundry, would you?
No.
Because then I'd see the stuff you wear around the house?
No, not because I don't love the idea of putting you out. It's I just don't want to transport the laundry.
I got you.
My hamper's kind of ripped up. I don't know.
I have in-suite laundry, so meh.
So let me ask you this. My laundry's downstairs. I take it all the way downstairs, all the way up there. Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
You get your laundry done. You get it out of the dryer. How long does it take you to get it from the hamper thingy into the drawers and folded?
Oh,
3 weeks.
It sits in the hamper, and I take my clean clothes from there. I have 3 laundry hampers.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Is anybody surprised at this? He's got his oatmeal laundry hamper, and that's for stuff he's never going to do in the laundry.
No, I actually, you know what? I gotta push back on that. I do laundry a ton. I'm always doing laundry.
How much clothing do you have?
A lot.
Yeah, and I wear the same like 8 things. So,
But
it's
that's a
little-
comfort level. I love this Nirvana hoodie. It's minus a bazillion. I wore it anyway today.
Yeah.
I'm so comfortable in this.
I have like bags of clothes I've been meaning to take to Goodwill for some time that I haven't got around to, and I bought garbage bags just so I could put more clothes in garbage bags to take to Goodwill. Maybe I'll do that this weekend.
You are a good man, and you should do that. This is a
Anyways.
time for great need.
I'd make that tuck deal in a heartbeat because you get to put him up on the top line.
Amen.
You move Nuge down to center. Kasperi Kapanen eventually comes back. He plays on that third line along with Savoy. Hudson's probably back down in the AHL at that point because, boom, you have Alex Tuck. Basically, your entire roster is solved. So,
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think it's the move to make. Is there a world where the Oilers trade Mangiapane to the Blackhawks for one for one for Jason Dickinson? The traits sought in Mangiapane are found in Dickinson. I think they can get more. What do the Hawks want to do? Or what are they doing? Where are they in the winning cycle? Hey, did you see that last play that we're watching on television, which is a faux pas for radio?
this one here from Rice.
There was a receiver or some kind of player for Rice who could have blocked a little bit, and he just ran upfield. What the hell's the matter with that guy?
Classic. Wide receivers and DBs don't really want to be involved in the play unless
So they leave the quarterback out
Yeah.
to not get the first down, jackass.
Sale oldest time.
Now it's 4th down, and he's going to make... Yeah, okay, nicely done. Okay, so I'm done with that. I won't ever do that again. I appreciate your patience. But I'm the sort of person, when I used to take the kids to the park, there'd be like pickup baseball game going on at the Diamond, and I would just stop and watch it. Any game, I can find a good player to watch. Even the little kids hockey where they all skate to the puck. The line should be like this from Richard. McDavid with Savoy and Hyman, Leon with Podkolzin, Roslovic, Nuge with Hutson and Howard, Lazar with Janmark and Frederick. I would not put Savoy and Hyman on the same line with McDavid. That I would not do. I like Hyman and McDavid together. I would prefer to have a somebody like Nuge. But if you're not going to play Nuge, then I would want to have like somebody with a little more experience. Tuck would be great. Podkolzin would be great, but he plays so well with Leon. I don't know why he would even do that. Just started listening. I hear the Oilers recalled 2 guys. That means Nuge is going to 3 center. Well, we'll see. Right now, Nuge is on the top line. Savoy and Henrique are centering the bottom 2 lines. I think most of us would put Henrique as the third line guy. Buffalo might be more legit than us. Maybe they're at Sellers and keep Tuck for Sask Oils fan. That's true. It could happen, but I think they'll want to sign him because if you go through the deadline and you haven't signed him, then you're I don't think you're winning Stanley. How are we feeling about Broberg over Ekholm for the Swedes in the Olympics? Terry North Edmonton. I guess great. I think that everything's coming up Millhouse for the Oilers right now. McDavid and Draisaitl are going. Everybody else is staying home. Beautiful. Go to the beach. Enjoy yourself. Let those fly somewhere south. Let those pores open. Maybe get a little tan. You can have a drinky poo, and then just enjoy and take a midwinter nap, and then come back here, and it'll take you a little while to get back into game shape. I understand that, but this is a really good opportunity for the Oilers. I think. First time since the Nilsson Cogliano Gagne era, we get a kid line, and you all want to break it up before a single shift. Such an Oilers fan thing, Troy Anahemi. No, I stand by what I said at the top of the show, Troy. I endorse fully a 4th line of Savoy, and Quinn Hutson and Ike Howard. I endorse it. It has to play 10 minutes, and it has to play a lot against the soft parade, which means that there's going to have to be line matching, and that's not really the forte or the template for Chris Knobloch as a coach. Having said that, he can give them offensive zone starts. There are ways to look after your young players, and I think this is a really good opportunity for these guys. I had planned on doing an NCAA thing, but my friend
You're just gonna have to do it later. It sounds like
I mean, I guess life, goes on.
it does. That it does.
Blue Jackets are going to activate Zach Werenski. What a great player. Can't stay healthy, but he is really, really good. There's no doubt. Bo Horvat out at least a week, but he did avoid a major injury. People are talking about how are you going to be able to keep these guys up in Howard and Hutson. Well, you can, but you're likely going to have to LTIR Tristan Jarry or send someone else down. The Swedes have announced their Olympic team. I mean, I think Ekholm would be one of the surprises off the list. Broberg making the list, I don't think is a surprise. I wonder if Rasmus Anderson will be a member of the Calgary Flames when the Olympics arrive.
I hope not.
Finland's roster is out as well. I love watching the Finns. Their players are so much more interesting than some other nations. They just always have interesting fellows like Sebastian Aho, Michael Granlund, Kaapo Kakko, Rupe Hintz, Mikko Rantanen, not bad. And their defense is loaded. Heiskanen, Jokiharju, Lettinen, Lindell, Mata, Matenpalo, Mikkola, Ristolainen. Canada's goaltending is going to take them as far as they go. That's my opinion. The American team is out. Bulgarian doesn't want to talk about any perceived errors or mistakes or things that will be turned out to be wrong. It's his list. He doesn't believe in questioning it. Boy, is he in the wrong business. I thought that was funny. Like, you could talk, people are going to just parse this thing until the days, 15 years from now. And if there's a mistake, they'll find it and they'll make you pay for it. That's sort of what media does. I mentioned at the top of this that Alec Bregman, is being pursued by a lot of teams. Looks like the Boston Red Sox have turned around and made a big offer to Bregman, and that may end up being what happens there. The Jays are interested. They're also in on Tucker and obviously Bichette. I suspect they'll get one of those guys, probably not two. That's my guess. And the Astros signed Tatsuya Imai, who's a 95-mile-an-hour fastballer from Europe, and he has like 6 pitches. I don't know what the hell that's going to look like, but it does sound interesting.
Get ready to learn sequencing, buddy. He must be a good sequence pitcher if his fastball's coming out at 95.
Well, I think what'll happen is there'll be, with most of these cats, except for Yamamoto, like 3 of your pitches are dog meat and the other 3 will get you there.
Fair enough.
That's what usually happens. We'll see. Anything in the NBA to talk about?
Kawhi Leonard is averaging 40 points over the Clippers' 6-game win streak. He dropped 50 for the first time in his career the other day. And it wasn't just like, a ho-hum. He had 55 real points. It was the man's on fire and just sort of proving why he was why he's still him, honestly. Why everyone's hey, you know what? Yeah, he's been injured, but that mid-range is still so dead. It's so fun to watch a Kawhi Leonard mid-range because he just throws it at the rim and then it doesn't even move the net. It just drops straight down.
So Cooper Flagg, December Rookie of the Year again. Is he playing that well?
I definitely played that well in December. VJ Edgecombe sort of fell off a cliff.
Had a sick game winner against Memphis, though.
Yep.
Cooper Flagg's definitely the best rookie right now.
Right behind it, yep. And then Jeremiah Fears right there.
Two-way guy.
And how are we doing on the 76ers? Are they still garbage?
They're okay-ish.
For all intents and purposes, yes. They're still garbage.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Somebody telling me the truth. I really do.
It could be worse, though.
It definitely could be worse. You guys could be looking at a real trust the process season of 13 wins.
I don't like the word process anymore. Okay, you guys are coming up next on Declinations, and here I am rambling on. Declinations is going to be wishes?
2026 sports wish list.
These two. I believe there'll be something about the Flames in here.
Oh, there will be.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Everyone's a winner.
On Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Sports 1440. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out, wolfgmcbuick.com. 1243, it's time for Declinations. Brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca. Articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold, including draft stuff. Most in-depth Double E football coverage online, elksnation.ca. All right, boys, it's Declinations. Top 5 wishes for 2026.
Absolutely. I went with I didn't just want to go with, my favorite teams winning a championship. So I kind of kept that out of it. Like I don't so for anyone who's wondering, like there's no Bills Super Bowl, there's no Ducks Natty, there's no Heat championship, there's no Oilers Stanley Cup. Like I wanted to go with, specific events as opposed to just saying I want my team to win. So that was kind of the direction I went with it. I'll start with my number 5. Unless do you want to start, Josh?
No, you knocked yourself out.
Number 5, Giannis traded to the Miami Heat.
Yeah, okay.
Listen, there's a package there to be had, and you know it, Josh. You just scoffed like that.
Just hold on here. What did you say before you said it wasn't going to be about the Miami Heat and the Buffalo Bills?
He said it's not about winning.
Yeah, like I didn't just want to say my top 5 wishes are 5 teams.
So this doesn't help Miami Heat get better?
Oh, it absolutely does.
Oh.
That's probably how they win a championship.
So
yeah, but I'm not going to like. I don't want to just
you
sit here and
lied
say
to us.
No. I'm not digging in on you for saying. I
don't just want to sit here and say number 5 Miami wins a championship, number 4 Edmonton wins a championship, number 3 Buffalo wins a championship. Like that's just it's too easy.
Okay,
I
so
want to
now
have
this trade piece. How does it look?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked. I think it's a package around Tyler Harrow, Khalil Ware. I think you probably have to put Jaime in the package, although I hate that. And then like 4 first-rounders. And I think you got something for Giannis. Bam and Giannis share an agent. And here's the other thing. And Josh, you'll appreciate this, and you know this is going to be correct. Giannis really, his mindset really fits Miami's culture.
Yeah.
And that is a organization and a coach he would thrive under because he approaches the game the exact same way they do. And that's why I think it's semi-realistic. You know, it's obviously a wish. Number 5.
That'd be. I like it.
All right, you're number 5.
My number 5. It's for Declan, basically. Buffalo Bills win a Super Bowl. Nice. I just want to see Josh Allen. I just want to see him get over the hump. You know, there's something so likable about the guy.
Well, and he's not going to have a long career because they can't protect him. And so eventually he'll end up, being hurt. He'll go the Joe Namath route.
Yeah.
So he needs to win.
So I want to see him win. This year, weaker side of the AFC. He should be able to get out of it. I know like everything's streaky, but you know what? I think he can do it. So
I just don't ever want to hear Declan as upset and down on his team as the day after they lost. It was tough. He was really, really upset.
The
a bad one.
The 13-second game.
No, it was last year.
Oh, last year.
It was last year.
It was just he goes, he's never gonna win. And I'm like, oh, come on. Because I've been there, but I didn't want him to feel that way. So I hope it happens.
I called them losers.
Fair enough.
Number 4. I don't think this is going to happen. This is a true wish list. I want Ellie to go for 40 and 60. 40 homers, 60 stolen bases. He doesn't really hit for power. He had 22 homers this past season. His career, he's only been in the MLB for 3 years. His career high is 25. His steals his stolen bases, I should say, went down from 67 to 37 this year. So I don't know how much in the cards. Like I think he can steal 60 bases again. I don't know if he can hit 40 homers, but I think that's a cool kind of benchmark. The 100 total there. Maybe 30 and 70 is more realistic for him. I don't know. He gets thrown out a lot, but that's my number 4.
Okay.
That's fun. I like that. Mine's also fun. Also very unrealistic, but I want to see Scotty Scheffler get the Tiger Slam in golf.
I like that.
Hold all 4 majors at the same time. He is probably the best golfer since Tiger Woods to be in the game.
Ass though, man.
I know, but if he only wins 4 championships all year, but all 4 of the majors, then bing bang boom, you got yourself a Tiger Slam.
The one thing I'll say is that he is any tournament he's in, he can win.
Exactly right, which is why I think it's not semi-realistic, but is a thing that could happen. Is like theoretically he could win all 4 majors this upcoming year. So I think that'd be really fun to see.
The biggest change in golf in my lifetime is back when I was a kid, you could name like it was Nicklaus, Gary Player, Lee Trevino, Tom Weiskopf, Tom Watson, maybe Johnny Miller. There's like 7 guys on Friday that you were going, one of these guys is going to win. Now it could be anybody. Even in majors, it could be anybody.
That's the best part of majors. It could be anybody.
Yeah, didn't used to be. All right, number 3 from Declan.
Number 3, Canada gets the most golds at the Olympics.
Wow.
Canada, I think on the world stage is really kind of thought of like, I really think we're kind of an afterthought just in terms of like countries, period. Like I think everyone in the world just kind of thinks of us as, to a degree, America's little brother. And we show up and we show out at the Winter Olympics. It's our time to shine. I want us to get the most golds.
Love it. I love that.
Keeping it simple.
I think they'll get a lot of golds. I just don't know if I like to think of Canada as the responsible neighbor.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
The one you borrow the sugar from.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hey, can I borrow a weed whacker? Absolutely. They borrow your weed whacker and then they top it up with gas because, hey, you know what? You let me borrow your weed whacker. Just put gas in it all the way up. My number 3, Blue Jays Dodgers World Series rematch. I don't care who wins.
That's nice.
I clearly want to see one team specifically win, but I think that would be awesome. Is like just
I love that idea. I also love the idea of like Cleveland Guardians and Milwaukee Brewers World Series.
yeah.
No.
But I think when it's like
Yours is more realistic.
is it well, yeah, sorry to the Guardians, I guess now, but I think it'd be really fun, especially if things break the Blue Jays way in this free agency like we think it is. The Dodgers have already retooled quite a bit and bolstered that bullpen with Edwin Diaz coming in as their closer. So I'm interested to see Louis Varland. He's already warming up for the start of the year. He's in the bullpen getting.
I think he's
warm.
going to be their closer.
You think so?
Yeah.
I like that idea. So, anyways, yeah, I think a World Series rematch would be sick for 2026.
All right, number 2.
Number 2, I want just one win from Canada at the World Cup.
Nice.
We play Qatar.
Nice.
I'm looking at the schedule right now. We play Qatar on June 18th at 3 p.m., I believe, BC time, which will be 4 p.m. our time. Qatar didn't have a great showing in the 2022 World Cup when they hosted. I think we got. Listen, getting to the knockout stage would be awesome. I just want us to win a game. I'm looking at that Qatar match on June 18th. I'm thinking it's possible.
And we no longer have to worry about scoring a goal, so we're making progress.
Yes, we got the goal. Yes.
Yeah, that'd be fun to see. My number 2, I want to see the Flames get the number 1 overall pick in the NHL draft.
Love that.
They've been in the league for a long time, and they
But they're
don't
doing
have
it
one.
wrong.
I don't care. Sometimes it just breaks people's way. The Bulls had a 1.6% chance to get the first overall pick in 2008, and they got it.
Yeah, because the NBA is rigged.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Don't care. It happened. This happens all the time. I just want to see it break my team's way. Please.
Well, I would
Please.
love to see you get a number 1 overall pick.
That'd be awesome.
But do it the old-fashioned way. Suck. Okay.
No.
You're number 2.
That was my number 2.
Oh,
we're on our number 1s now.
Okay, number 1, Declan. Sorry.
Number 1. I mean, I think you guys know where I'm going with this one.
Miami Heat?
No,
Oh.
close. It goes without saying. Number 1, Jimmy Butler ring. I need some silverware, some hardware.
You went into. You're just a jack-o'-lantern. You went into.
Yeah, I
this
broke
and
my
said,
own rule here.
I'm not going to be about my teams, and then it was all about your teams.
But here's the thing: like, if Jimmy gets traded to OKC to win the ring, as long as he contributes, I'm happy.
Yeah,
I just need the ring.
I think that we need to go back and restack that intro because it was
I broke
deceiving.
my rule a little with the last one.
A little bit, yeah.
But I'm saying, like, you guys have to admit the way I went about my list was far better than
I
just
enjoyed
saying,
your list. Yeah, it was creative.
Yeah.
But I think you would have done a fine job by not embellishing what it was going to be and flat out lying about it. Would have been better.
I need a Jimmy ring. I need it.
Yeah, I know you do. All right, number
Fair
1.
enough. My number 1, I want to see stars across the league stay healthy. Just do.
Okay, I know. I like.
Not a realistic wish at all. Everyone's going to get injured, but
well, especially in hockey this year because they're playing so many games in a row.
But
That's
like
not
with
fair.
hockey, you want to see the Dreisaitls, the McDavids, the McKinnons, the McCarrs, all the Hughes brothers. They stay healthy. Like you want to see the top end. I want to see top end talent just stay healthy because that's where the competition comes from.
Yeah, and you want the Florida Panthers completely healthy.
I want Barkov healthy for sure.
No.
And Matthew Tkachuk, that rat.
Well, at least all of Alberta hates him now. So I have a question for you really quickly, Declan. I was going to ask it last segment, but you left the room as one does. So yesterday, Indiana over Alabama, Ole Miss and Georgia, just a phenomenal game. And then I don't think Oregon got like enough attention here.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that, Texas Tech was Texas Tech, but they were like the number 4 team, right?
Oh yeah. They had a great year
and
really good roster, good defense.
Oregon 23 Cobb. I mean, this should be a bigger news story today.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit like Oregon was just so dominant. Texas Tech could not do anything offensively. I give Texas Tech's defense a lot of credit. Oregon pretty much they had one touchdown and 3 field goals up until like the last 20 seconds to make the final score look a little bit better than it was. They weren't great on third down. Like Texas Tech's defense played well. They just couldn't do anything offensively. Like they could not do anything offensively. It's weird. Texas Tech they were an easy team to root for this year. And they it's kind of goes against conventional wisdom because they have a billionaire former player who spent $30 million on their roster. So it's kind of like what's there to cheer for with that? But they just were. There was something about them. They went out sad, but it's Oregon's defense dominant or coaching dominant. Offense, it wasn't a dominant offensive performance, but they did what they had to get the win. And that game against Indiana, what a matchup we're in for.
Love it. All right. So we have Steve Lansky on the way next hour. Are you still awake? Because you were, partying with your parents all week.
Yeah, no, I'm still awake. We only partied on the 31st. Then again, I was in bed at 12:30. I was in bed last night at 10 o'clock. It was awesome.
For those traveling this weekend, not that we wish any bad weather, but the road's on 100%.
Very far from 100%.
Yeah.
It's okay to drive 100 or less.
And
especially if you're trying to stay on the road.
Yeah. And, I know, I drive Ray Gibbon every day, and people are so impatient. And I like to give several car lengths. And so people will pass me and then gun it and jump back in the other lane right in front of me like it's a big deal. All I'm going to do is back off of you too, because when you are an aggressive person on the Ray Gibbon at this time of year, I consider that to be dangerous. And so cut it out. And if not, then don't get mad at me when I back off and have 73 car lengths. I would pay extra money for the police to clear the Ray Gibbon for when I'm on it. And then everybody can go back to work afterwards. Do you think we could work that out? Probably not. All right. Steve Lansky on the way. We're going to talk to Lansky about the Olympic team. We're going to talk about the Oilers and the trades and what went down and about these young rookies, how he would handle them, and maybe some memories of rookie first appearances of the past from the Edmonton Oilers. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. It's time for an update with Declan Krueger.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Custom Floors, Inc. Floors done right for homes and for businesses. You can visit the new showroom, 11577 149th Street. It's open 6 days a week in the hours tomorrow on Saturdays 10 to 2. You can also visit customfloorsinc.ca, and you can bring your next flooring project to life. Edmonton Oilers have recalled Ike Howard and Quinn Hutson from the Bakersfield Condors. They will play the Philadelphia Flyers tomorrow at 1:30. World Junior Hockey Championship action. The quarterfinals get going 2:30. It's going to be Switzerland and Czechia. At 4, Finland and the U.S. And 6:30, Canada will play Slovakia. In the NHL, just 4 games on the schedule today. Vegas and St. Louis getting going in just a moment's time here in New York. The Rangers, that is, in Florida, will play at 6. And 2 games at 8:30. We'll see Seattle and Vancouver and Minnesota in Anaheim. In the NBA, it all gets going with 2 games at 5 o'clock. San Antonio and Indiana, and Brooklyn at Washington. Other games in the league include the Oklahoma City Thunder in Golden State to take on the Warriors. The Thunder, 10.5-point favorites for that one. And the Memphis Grizzlies in LA to take on the Lakers at 8:30 with the Lakers 3.5-point favorites in that one. College football scores right now, 30 seconds into the third quarter. Texas State leads Rice 10-7 in the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. Navy and Cincinnati will get going at 2:30. Arizona and SMU at 6, and Wake Forest Miss State at the same time. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been Sports 1440 Update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Everyone's a winner during Wish and Win at Wolf GMC Buick. But hurry, it ends January 2nd. Every single customer is guaranteed at least a $500 bonus with a chance to save up to $25,000 towards a new GMC or Buick. At Wolf GMC Buick, we also have 0% financing up to 84 months on most of our popular SUVs and trucks. And we're clearing out remaining 25s, including cash discounts up to $10,000 on a great selection of Sierra HDs. But hurry in now, it ends January 2nd. Wolf GMC Buick. Perfect. Where everyone wins.
Did you know the Brick is proudly Canadian owned and operated? We started right here in Canada over 50 years ago. Now, our 5,000 team members are proud to be your neighbor in more than 200 communities across Canada. And we support all Canadians with a growing selection of quality made Canadian products and manufacturers. Nobody knows more about furnishing Canadian homes at the guaranteed lowest price than us. The Brick, saving you more.
Visit thebrick.com and use our store locator to find a brick store near you.
At Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
I'm getting McDonald's. You want anything?
Oh, yeah. I'll get I'm obviously going to get the McVeggie, medium fries and a medium fountain drink for $9.99. It's my favorite meal and it's new. Plus, if I get that, maybe he'll want it too. And then he'll always thank me for introducing him to the McVeggie. I'll be a hero.
So, McVeggie fries and drink?
How'd you know?
You were thinking out loud again. Get yourself a McVeggie meal for just $9.99 plus tax for a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants.
For almost half a century, families, farmers, and mechanics across Alberta have trusted Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock. Why? Because we know cars and we know value. Hi, Lisa here. And whether it's keeping your work truck hauling or getting your teenager's first car back on the road, Ed's has the parts you need at prices you can afford. Reliable, affordable, local. That's Ed's Auto Salvage. With province-wide shipping and daily delivery to Edmonton, visit us at edsautosalvage.com.
Every morning, you look in the mirror and see less of yourself. Hair loss can feel like losing a part of who you are.
But it doesn't have to be that way. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we understand the pain of hair loss. Our advanced hair restoration solutions won't just bring back your hair. They'll help you face the mirror with confidence.
Good morning, you sexy beast. Visit drvanceelliott.com today because it's time to be the man you remember.
Breaking down the fine art of sports, one rep at a time. The Lowdown with Lowetide. Thanks for checking out Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Hurry in for their Wish and Win event. Everyone's a winner. You're guaranteed a minimum of $500 bonus on your new vehicle purchase. Visit wolfgmc.com. Just realized I forgot to plug in my computer, and it's almost dead. Josh, do you think you could help me? I can't do it. I'm on the air. I just realized it. It says power saver's on. Lansky's waiting for me. Thank you. All right. Listen, you're working with old people. These things are going to happen. All right. We're joined now by our friend Steve Lansky. Steve, how are you?
Thing is not helping us look good.
Yes. And Josh had to, because he was helping me, he didn't turn your mic up. So we didn't hear the first thing that you said. But it's not his fault. It's
No. Listen, I see what's going on there. I've been watching you clowns for about 5 minutes, plugging this in, unplugging that, running around. It was like a Keystone Cop / Three Stooges movie. All I said was, you're giving old people a bad name, so don't say my computer's unplugged. Say something happened to the thingamajig, and that could be anything.
It's funny because that is my go-to. Something happened to this thingamajig. So,
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it?
you know, I noticed that you use your hands a lot on YouTube.
Yeah, that's correct. Is that a bad thing?
It just looks like you are a nice sounding fellow, and you're a pleasant sounding fellow. So when I looked at you using your hands like you were on The Sopranos, I thought maybe this was a different kind of a show we were doing, but it's okay. I'm used to it.
What I just heard was, you got a face and hands for radio. That's what I just heard.
You are a very
Now that we're on YouTube, this is fugly from top to bottom. That's what I heard.
No, that's just not true. Now, tell us about because there was a possibility you weren't going to be able to do this today, because I think you're out traveling and maybe you're at the mountains.
That was yesterday. It was going to be today, but you can see, like, I'm blurred, but there's stuff going on behind, right? It's been and I told them, just talk. It's guests visiting from Toronto. It's been like a 6-day party. Literally, if you were getting paid by the moment of silence in the last 6 days, you'd only have a nickel. It's nonstop. So I said to them, just do whatever you want back there. So we were in Banff yesterday, and it was Lake Louise, so foggy to drive there and foggy to drive back. I'm just happy to be alive, dude.
Yeah, I'm disappointed they're not throwing stuff at your hair from behind, but other than that, it looks fine.
Okay, well, thank you. I mean, I got the Conway Twitty backlash last week, so I thought, well, I'm going to go. But I'll be honest with you, we just finished pickleball like 45 minutes ago, so this is pickleball hair. Before you ask, yes, 3 straight games.
I would have guessed pickleball.
Yeah.
All right. So the Oilers called up 2 players, Ike Howard and Quinn Hutson. Now, they've been here before, but this is a recall after their first blush, and oftentimes the player will have more traction the second time around. And it got me thinking about, the young rookie players that or at least not even rookies necessarily, but guys who came over from Europe, like Pozar, or players who were picked up from other teams who were new that we did not know about, or Padubny, who ended up being a star in New York and Toronto, and he couldn't get a sniff here. But during the time that you hung around the Oilers or any team, is there a young player coming up and the excitement around that kind of shines beyond all the other ones?
I can tell you the first one that popped into my mind. Now, he was successful at the World Juniors, so it's not like he wasn't a good junior player. So the Oilers lost the first game of the 1985 Stanley Cup Final in Philadelphia, 4-1, in literally the worst building in the history of buildings, the Spectrum. And I'm there, I'm working in the broadcast booth, and then it starts to filter that Esa Tikkanen might play in game 2, right? And I'm thinking, there's no way. Wrong, buddy. Esa Tikkanen, I think he played in 2, 3, 4, and 5 in that series, and that was the end of that series. So that's the one that just like whammo hits me, because the word filtered out. Then they got back to Edmonton. I remember this now. And everybody wanted to interview him. And, Slats says, you're going out the back door, kid. We're not doing any of this stuff. So none of the regular beat guys, Dick Chubay, Terry Jones, Jim Matheson, none of them could get a hand on Esa Tikkanen, because, Slats snuck him out the back door. But that's the one that pops into my mind right away.
Well, that's a great one, because I remember that well. Like we were back then, it's hard to describe to people, but the Oilers kept coming up with truly unique players about every 11 minutes. So it would be, this guy is going to play, and we sort of would know about him, but then they'd come out and they'd be truly delightful. Like Tikkanen was he was unique from his first shift to his last. I loved watching him play hockey.
Teak was a good player. I think he had enough whimsy in him to not be too serious. I mean, Glenn Anderson had enough whimsy for everyone else, but Esa Tikkanen, am I right? Esa Tikkanen had some whimsy in him, but I'll tell you what, when 10 went on the ice, 10 was serious business, and then didn't he get the hat trick in 91 against Calgary? Was that 91? I think it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he could play, but I think the Oilers just cared about how does this guy play. We'll figure the other stuff out. I think
Yeah.
that was one of the strengths they had.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that he was just a fantastic two-way player, and a shame he never won a Selke, but he certainly should have. So the Oilers have made some moves. They've got a new goaltender. They've got two new goalies, actually, with Ingram coming up and playing pretty well. Jari on IR. A lot of the conversation around this team right now is, it's verboten to keep three goaltenders unless you're Sam Pollock and Scotty Bowman, and it's the mid-1970s. So they're going to have to make a decision on one of these fellows. But everybody's got like some question mark. Connor Ingram just coming back for a long time away from the game. We've got Jari, who's somewhat injury prone and currently hurt, and Calvin Pickard, who's a little long in the tooth. Not long in the tooth like you and I are, but for hockey, he's an older goaltender. So do you feel like the decision's already been made and it's Pickard, or do you think they have to audition these fellows, or do you think they could carry three goalies for a while?
Three goalies is I think a very strong possibility. I'd keep Ingram and Jerry there, but they won't. They'll I'm sure they'll send Ingram back. But having three goalies isn't going to kill you. I think that makes a ton of sense at this point, because you're not fighting for 31st in the league. Like, you're trying to get the pieces where you want to get the pieces, because let's face it, you got January and then you're into March. Like, February's a write-off, and then April, whenever the playoffs start, 15. Like, you don't have a ton of time, even though there's half a season. You don't have a ton of days between now and when the Stanley Cup playoffs start.
Very true. I know this is going to be a tough one, because I know you have no connection to or passion for the Olympics, but they are coming up, and I'm kidding. And the teams have been announced. A lot of angst and upset across the NHL world. Chicago's mad about Bedard. People a little bit disgruntled about Bouchard and Hyman and Ekholm not making it. But I look at it as an advantage for the Oilers. They played a lot of hockey over the last 2 years, coming up on 3 years now. For these guys like Nuge and others who played a lot, I think it's a good opportunity to get a rest in the middle of a season that's so vital.
Of course it is. Of course it is. And I get it. Doug Armstrong's trying to build a team. As Herb Brooks said, I want the best team. I don't want the best players. I get it. The Bedard thing, I'm not sure about, and I'm not sure about the Schaefer thing either, because this is 2026. If you can get them there now in 2030, they've played in the Olympics. Because I'm telling you right now, Sidney Crosby ain't playing in the 2030 Olympics. Nathan McKinnon might not be playing in the 20. I mean, that's a long time from now.
Yes.
So it's like, you want to win now, but you got to think about a lot of things. It's not a job I don't think I'd want, but you got to think about a lot of things in that job. And time off, not a bad thing at all. Take all you can get.
And it's this is such a different team, like a year ago, you had Corey Perry and Arvidsson and Skinner, and people were mad at some and liked others, but you had a bunch of guys on the depth lines who could do some things, and right now the Oilers have two lines that are going very well at about 55% 5-on-5, and the bottom two lines are about around 30%. And so it's like a championship caliber top two lines and then an expansion caliber bottom two lines. And, it's half a season here, Steve, and they don't have a lot of money to spend, cap wise, and not a lot of assets either. In your opinion, is this team still are you more suspicious of this team than you were the more veteran laden clubs of the last 2 years?
No, I'm not more suspicious. Interesting word. I like it. Not more suspicious. I think that championship teams figure out a way to win with what they've got. I mean, the Philadelphia Flyers went to the Stanley Cup final in 74, 75, and 76. They got swept in 76. But they did it with different teams every time. 76, they went to the Stanley Cup final with Wayne Stevenson, not Bernie Perron. So I think there's lots of ways to figure out how to win with different teams, and I think good teams do that. I don't think every line has to be Olympic caliber. I think every line has to know its role. And every time I hear that, I just think of the Islanders of the '80s. I mean, my God, Billy Carroll, John Tonelli, Clark Gillies, like Bobby Nystrom, all knew their role. They had no interest whatsoever in playing outside their role. That's the team you need.
Pretty wild stuff. So for you, there's so much on right now. There's the World Juniors. There's bowl games galore. Obviously, the NHL is going lickety split. The NFL games too, and sometimes I'm like, oh damn it, I missed that game, and it's a game I would want to watch. Right? Like that's how busy it is. How do you factor in all of these events? Do you just ignore them all and go to the AJ game?
No, I don't. And by the way, Canada's up against an AJ game, Calgary Canucks on Monday, Drayton Valley Thunder. So if Canada plays on Monday, that's not going to happen. But I just focus on the ones that really push my buttons. So tonight, I believe the rest of the group is going line dancing. Line dancing's not going to happen.
Right.
Steve's going to watch Canada Slovakia, of course. And then the Oilers, tomorrow I'm focused on the Oilers. So I kind of pick and choose. I've got a ranking. I mean, I should actually probably put it on the wall with back in the day when they put the TV shows on the wall.
Yeah.
The network presidents. Maybe I should just do that. Oilers number 1, World Juniors number 2, and just rank it right down so that everybody can see it. I didn't think of that till now. That's a pretty good idea.
I like that. Like that. Yeah. And then maybe put some of the things, the chores that you have to do too on there as well. We'd like to see those.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But what I really enjoyed was last night, get up, go to the washroom, shut the door, go to come back out, turn the lever to get out of the bathroom, and the lever comes off in my hand.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I don't want to turn the lights on. I'm going to wake up my wife. So I'm putting the lever back on. That I wake up this morning and it looks like there's been a mass murder with grease. There's grease everywhere. But of course, it's dark, so I can't see it last night. And I wake up and I'm like, oh my God. So I spent a lot of the morning before pickleball just degreasing the bathroom door.
You live an interesting life, and I love that you're sharing that kind of information on the air. I think it's beneficial for the show, and for me, I don't know what it does for you, but I'm glad you did it.
No, dude, you know exactly what it does for me. Bagel.
I love it. All right, great weekend. Enjoy yourself. Thank you for this.
Thank you, sir. You have a great weekend too.
All right, there you go. Steve Lansky, Inside the Truck Podcast. That Tikkanen appearance, it was a big deal. It was when he came up, Tikkanen was, I don't even know how to describe Esa Tikkanen. He was, Jari Kurri was Finnish and didn't understand him. And the English guys didn't understand him either. But he was fantastic as an agitator and as a checker. And he could score too. He had some pretty large scoring seasons. My all-time favorite Gretzky line is Tikkanen, Gretzky, Kurri. And that I'm like not using names that I loved, like Semenko. But that line was just like so skilled. And with Tikkanen on it, it was like there was always alarm bells going off or whistles going, and then some poor guys in the corner and Tikkanen skating away. Wild times. Great memories. And we thank our friend Steve Lansky for that. All right, you've got lots of questions about what Lansky said and what we've talked about and the call-ups and the lines all straight ahead. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
I skipped breakfast this morning. Stay out of my way.
Don't threaten me with your bad choices.
No worries. A booster bar from Booster Juice will fix me.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, because they're new. Snack-sized bars packed with seeds, pecans, gluten-free oats, all sorts of good stuff.
That sounds lovely, actually.
2 different flavors to try, too. Coconut pecan booster bars and harvest booster bars. Want to skip breakfast with me?
I take it back. You make good choices.
Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Mr. Rooter goes skiing.
Sick gear, Mr. Rooter. Are you ready to hit the slopes?
Not yet. I need to report a possible crime.
Oh no, what's happening?
I saw a bunch of hooligans discussing shredding the half pipe. As a plumber, I've taken the Hippocratic Oath to do no harm and act in the best interest of all pipes, whether PVC, copper, or otherwise.
It's made of snow, Mr. Rooter.
Snow? Things are worse than I had feared.
There's no better plumber than Mr. Rooter.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Everyone's a winner during Wish and Win at Wolf GMC Buick. But hurry, it ends January 2nd. Every single customer is guaranteed at least a $500 bonus with a chance to save up to $25,000 towards a new GMC or Buick. At Wolf GMC Buick, we also have 0% financing up to 84 months on most of our popular SUVs and trucks. And we're clearing out remaining 25s, including cash discounts up to $10,000 on a great selection of Sierra HDs. But hurry in now, it ends January 2nd.
Wolf GMC Buick.
Where everyone wins.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Krueger50. That's code Krueger50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner. Five-time Junior Hockey League champions, the Spruce Grove Saints, are excited to be back on the ice at the brand new Thompson Family Arena. Be part of the action and enjoy some of the best junior hockey Canada has to offer by experiencing a Saints game for your next outing. Tickets range from $10 to $17 with free parking and some of the best food and drink specials in town. For more information on tickets and how you can become a partner, go to sgsaints.ca.
You need the lowdown? It's with Lowetide right now on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440 at 121. Heading towards, it's just been a weird week or what? Every day I wake up and think it's Sunday. Every day. I go, well, this is Sunday. And it's like Tuesday. But it's been a weird week. You know, we at our radio station, we worked one day and then I think 2 days. And then we got a day off and now we're back. And then it's Friday. And then, you know, Lowetide's used to coming to work 5 days and then not coming to work for 2 days. So I may show up here tomorrow. I'm hopeful that I won't. Bowling ball with ears is Tikkanen, kind of. He was the ultimate pest. Loved getting punched in the face, perplexed Oilers fan. He was amazing. And he had skill, and he was a great checker. My God, he was a great checker. I don't like how the Oilers have treated Pickard since they called up the reclamation project in Ingram. 4 starts out of 5. Are you kidding? Pickard is the reason the Oilers beat the Jets. He should have gotten the net for the next game. Not the way to treat a guy who helped get the Oilers to the Stanley Cup Finals. Oogie Bear. Well, they're trying to find out about this guy, right? And, you know, Calvin Pickard makes, you know, very good money. He's been on 2 teams that have gotten to the Stanley Cup Final, and he has contributed. But I think in this general point in the season, the Oilers finding out about Connor Ingram is more important than how the goalie rotation goes. Just JMO, as the kids say. No one understood what Teak was saying. They called it Tikkanese. Nick says Horvat was hurt yesterday's game. Hope management team doesn't take injured players to Italy when there are plenty of good players initially left off the team. Yeah, they have. I don't remember the date, but they have a drop dead date on that. I can't remember what it is. But they don't let injured players play for sure. That would not be good. JB and the loader waving at Lansky. We wave back. Flames ain't drafting nothing when they're middle of the pack yet again. Flames have to trade all the good players and force the coach to play a worse roster. I know. I've been talking about that to young Josh for a long time now. But Josh, like a lot of young people, doesn't listen. What kind of odds for Scotty Scheffler to compete a Tiger Slam in golf would be worth a flyer bet? No, I don't know. I don't do any bets, but it's so far off of a reasonable bet. I think you could make a lot of money were it to happen. Phil will do well in Carolina because the coach and GM are on the same page. The Oilers' problem is they're not. Richard. I don't know. I remember that McClellan and Chiarelli were never on the same page. You know, Chiarelli would go to the summer and I have Griffin Reinhart. And then Todd McClellan would go, yeah, I don't see it. And then the next year they draft Jessa Puljujarvi. And, you know, Chiarelli's like, no, he's ready. He's good. Training camp. I don't see it. And by the way, McT and Lowe differed a lot of guys too. I remember Kevin Lowe would come on the radio every training camp and he'd go, this is the year for Jason Chimera. We know he's there. He's there. He's a guy who can play, definitely fast enough, got the skill. Jason Chimera making the team, and McT would send him out every time. Now, McT had Pisani, and Pisani was a better two-way player. Guys, I wouldn't try sending either goalie down until Jari has played 3 or 4 games. Yeah, they're right now they're in a good spot because they need to have both goalies here. They can rotate them as they see fit. They're not trying to make the playoffs. They should be fine there. And if they have a January like the December, then it'll be fine. Everything will be good. LT Kiefer Sherwood has to be the guy for the Oilers. Has a ton, is an instigator and shooter. Third lines make or break teams in the playoffs. I like him. I just think his price tag is going to be too high. The Oilers don't have anything. They don't have any cash. Now, it would help if Mangiapane waves. But they don't have a lot of cash, and they don't have a lot of assets. So I think Kiefer will cost too much. I think another team will offer more. My coach used to say that Esa was literally piss and vinegar in a jar. He just was an agitator. But he was also very skilled. Evie Chevy says, I met a young Finnish guy a couple of years ago on a boat in Hawaii. He found out that my wife and I were from Edmonton and wanted to talk about Tikkanen for about a half an hour. He never saw him play live, but he was a big fan. I think everybody was. Howard showcase tonight. Triple C in a truck. LOL. I like when the Shames keep thinking they're going to win the Stanley Cup with this roster, Randy. Well, they don't, Randy. That's the problem. Like, Craig Conroy's not a dumbass. He knows what he has and he knows what he does not have. The problem is that when you're like, they're devoted to, we're not going to play for any kind of a draft. Okay, that's great. But then you're going to be drafting 12th. And you're going to get good players because you're a good drafting team. But you got a Ginla because you traded for him. You got Kiprasov because you traded for him. The only way to get like a true impact top of the line player, and even then it's not 100%, but your odds are much better if you're picking number 2 or number 1. And if you are like allergic to trading off everybody and losing games because it's for the good of the team. I mean, when are they getting a new building in Calgary?
I think they have 2 more seasons than the one they have right now.
Well, then suck for 2 years. And then you go into the new building with your young hot rod. It's Larry Van Dyke, the number 1 overall pick, coming into the new building. The house that Van Dyke built.
I can't imagine a guy named Van Dyke building a house if his name isn't Dick.
People can be named Van Dyke and they're not Dick. He had a brother, Jerry.
Who?
Yeah. He was famous too.
Clearly not as famous as Dick Van Dyke.
No, he wasn't. But you if you saw his picture, I think you'd recognize him.
Maybe.
He was on some good shows.
This is a bit of a Jim and John Belushi situation?
I probably, but I think he was like, I think he was pretty famous, maybe long before any of us were born, but he was in My Mother the Car, the classic.
Well, Dick Van Dyke was in Mary Poppins.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. With the worst accent ever.
A classic.
Worst accent ever.
I've not watched Mary Poppins in many, many moons. However, not once as a child did I ever think, man, that guy's got a British accent. He literally just sounds like an American chimney sweep who's living in Britain.
But he should have just played it straight. Like, the accent is
How could you ask
distracting.
Dick Van Dyke to do that?
Well, you could hire somebody else.
No, you could not.
Yeah, you could have. It's like Nick Cage and Peggy Sue Got Married. What the hell was he doing with his voice?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's a funny voice.
Yeah.
It's like he was on helium the whole time.
I always wonder, like, the producer of the movie, wouldn't you just go over and clock the guy?
That's the guy who starred in Con Air. You can't just go over and clock that guy.
Con Air, man. That's like I watched that movie and I'm like, I'm getting dumber by the minute, but I loved it.
Fair enough.
A lot of Nick Cage movies are like that.
Yeah, Jerry Van Dyke was great in Coach. Yes, he was. The Wicker Man's the worst movie by Nick Cage that I have ever seen.
Correct.
That was a movie I really regretted watching clean through.
It's a remake of a 73 British horror film.
Yeah.
I might have heard something about that.
The Flames owner is a stubborn ass. Conroy has done a good job, but his hands are tied. I'm not going to call anybody a stubborn ass.
If anything, it's Conroy who's the stubborn one.
Well, I mean, it's a tough road back, but they're not Vancouver, and so they have that going for them.
This is true.
Vancouver, man.
All right. This keeps coming up on because I work here and I do my best to like all the posts that we put out.
Yes.
Pump those nubbies up. When I'm scrolling through TikTok now, there's a lot of like Oilers stuff or whatever, but there's this one thing that keeps popping up, which is a Canucks fan, whatever, which is basically, you'll get this parallel, Declan. Like when Patrick Beverley told Steph Curry, you had the last 5 years, the next 5 are mine.
Love it.
They're like, oh yeah, the Canucks dynasty starts on January 18th after they beat the brakes off the Oilers. It's essentially what all these posts are.
They're saying this now?
Yeah, they're saying this now.
What, did the Canucks make a big move to bring in somebody?
You didn't hear? Zeev Buium's up next.
Come on.
Like I'm literally like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Are they on a 10-game heater?
I don't think so. Can I be very honest with you? I'm not really keeping up with the Canucks season.
Well, I keep up because it's fun. I actually, as you get older, you watch teams that you cheer for, and then you watch teams to hate watch. And there's some funny hate watching going on. in the National Hockey League this year. Although the Leafs have turned it around a little bit. They're 5-4-1 in their last 10. And they're only 2 points out of a playoff spot, although Buffalo has a game in hand. But the Panthers are coming on now, so I think everybody's going to have to deal with the Panthers.
I love the idea of them making the playoffs. Like, could you imagine them versus Colorado in the first round?
Man, I love it. I love that. Who are you talking about?
Vancouver versus Colorado.
They're ninth. They're 15th in they're second last in the West. Winnipeg's last. Like they're 39 games in. They are 6 points out, which is a lot. And Seattle has a game in hand. I don't see them climbing past LA, Utah, Calgary, Nashville, St. Louis, Chicago to get close to Seattle. I just don't see that. Although I think San Jose will fall back. Who do you like for the final?
Oh, probably Colorado. Sorry. Probably Colorado. And I don't know. Listen, my preseason prediction was Carolina and Edmonton, so I guess maybe I'll still roll with Carolina. But
okay, that's interesting. What about you? You got a final?
I think I have to go with the same as Declan. I don't see anyone beating the Avalanche right now. But
They're
you know,
really
the
good.
Stars beat them last year, so maybe that's what it takes this year. But I still think Carolina out of the East.
Carolina looks good.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
At what point in the season are we allowed to stop saying, well, they might fall back or they might fall off or whatever, or this is just a hot start? Because you just said it about the Sharks. I'm like, we're almost halfway through the season.
Yeah, but they were hotter before.
It's true.
They have gone. It's like
They've
aren't
leveled
sliding.
off.
Yeah. But I get to say whatever I want, whenever I want.
Yeah, no.
So those are the answers.
Okay.
By the way, Declan, who wins the college football championship?
I think probably if I had to bet, I would pick Indiana.
The Hoosiers.
They're so good.
Yeah. How about Detroit leading the Atlantic? Actually leading the East in terms of 52 points, and they have a -4 goal differential.
Yeah, it's nuts. LT, is your son a Canucks fan from Slurp? Slurp, years and years ago, my son was a Edmonton Oilers fan. And I took him to an Oilers game. And his favorite player was Tom Pody. And they booed Tom Pody, the fans did, like mercilessly that night. And on the way home, to me, I don't like that, Dad. The home team booing my favorite player. So I'm going to cheer for the Vancouver Canucks now. And he did for many, many years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pro move.
Well, I mean, he's like, my children are stubborn. I know it skips a generation, right? Like, I'm not stubborn, but they are. Are you saying I'm stubborn?
I am not saying anything.
No.
That's I literally said nothing.
I was laughing at like the whole joke of it all. Like, yeah, it skips a generation. I'm not stubborn. They are.
I was just staring at him blankly, like there's no way you could be saying this right now.
How's the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl doing?
Well, first of all, what a sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yeah, listen, Rice is one of the teams that got in with a losing record. I think they were 5-7 this year.
Yeah.
So probably shouldn't. It's crazy. You knew that faster than I did.
It's literally on the screen.
Okay. Six from Texas State. So good job.
Yeah. And they're just one of the teams. Like, they didn't have a great year. They played in a weaker conference than we thought it was going to be. Probably didn't deserve to be there. And Texas State's a scrappy team. They kind of play a high volume style of offense. So listen, this game is all about the sponsor. This game is all about lining Lockheed Martin's pockets.
Well, they're barely getting along, Declan. They barely make any money, Lockheed Martin.
I know. When are they going to catch a break?
And maybe some support from the government.
Sometimes you just want to see the little guy win. All right? Lockheed Martin.
Listen, I wake up every day. I put my pants on one leg at a time like everyone else. And I go to work for the Lockheed Martin shareholders.
Okay, we'll just take a break. Much hilarity will ensue. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Wing Wednesday at First Round. Whether you're coming for the first round, the last round, or a few rounds in between, they've got you covered. With half-price wings every Wednesday night. Half-price wings. Over 35 delicious flavors like Cajun salt and pepper, maple bacon, and Inferno wings. Now half price every Wednesday night. Wash them down with a cold pint of Canadian or Coors Light for only $5.75. Half price Wing Wednesdays at First Round in West End and now downtown. First Round, burgers, beer, sports. I'm Grant Fedork from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and people who suffer brain fog might think it's just going to be part of their life. But listen, I've seen a 38-year-old mom managing a concussion read her kid a bedtime story without losing the plot, all because of cognitive rehab that rewires the brain like a GPS reboot. Your brain isn't broken, it's buffering. One missed beat in focus, memory, or balance snowballs into frustration, falls, or forgotten keys. Stroke, concussion, long COVID, even aging can all lead to brain fog. Cognitive rehab works. Check us out at leadingedgephysio.com before your next "Where'd I Put My Phone" moment.
Send off your holiday break with Oil Kings Hockey at Rogers Place. Family fun that's second to none, starting at just $20 a seat.
This Family Fun Sunday, your Edmonton Oil Kings get a rare visit from the Seattle Thunderbirds.
Enjoy the Kids Fun Zone with face painting and bouncy castles.
Plus, score Calma Kids food combos for $10 or less. The value is king-sized.
Edmonton Oil Kings, Seattle Thunderbirds, WHL Hockey for the holidays. Family Fun Sunday at 4.
Great seats at Rogers Place start at only $20. Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
I'm tired of waking up tired. Waking up tired. Yeah, waking up tired. Are you tired of waking up tired? Come visit our sleep experts at the Brick Mattress Store. Get Canada's guaranteed lowest prices on all things sleep. Plus, try your new mattress for 6 months. If you don't love it, we'll find one you do. Some conditions apply. Stop waking up tired. Get the right mattress, guaranteed. Only at the Brick Mattress Store.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers, and that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So, when you wake up to no heat,
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
if you need it immediately with no overtime rates, if you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC,
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru. Engineered for Canadian winters, built for real-life confidence. Tackle the ice and snow with Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive, delivering the power, control, stability, and grit you need. And when the temperature plummets,
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Wish and win event on now. Everyone's a winner at wolfgmcbuick.com. I was expecting the international love song. Whoa. I don't play football.
Declan dropped the ball. It's supposed to be international love, and he didn't play it.
I was just waiting for the song.
Man, it is Friday, isn't it? You know what? It doesn't feel like Friday. That's why.
Well, every day's Sunday this week. I swear to God. Every day I got up and I went, it's Sunday.
Definitely, every day's had Sunday vibes, for sure.
Yeah, right. You know, like.
That's my bad. I break tradition, but we'll get back on the track next week.
Okay, I got a couple of things
to do here.
One is Cam Tate who is obviously friend of show, friend of everybody, great fellow. He had a Tikkanen story. I'm going to pass it along. He said, Wayne Gretzky introduced me to Tikkanen. Because of the way I talk, Wayne said, Cam, maybe you can tell us what he's saying, which, if you remember Tikkanen, is pretty damn funny. So our thanks to Cam for passing that along. Also, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I've been retweeting some of them, and I did retweet today's. But Cam sends out a tweet, an X tweet, every day. And today's is, we have another Winter Classic today, outdoor game in Florida, Rangers Panthers. Do you still watch it? Yes, no. And I voted, and most people are voting one way. I'm resend it out now. And once you vote, I think you'll be shocked by the result. And there are a significant number of votes already, and the result is shocking. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I want you to go and click on it and then give your decision, but you will be shocked by the result. Shocked, I tell you. Do you know that there was a man named Ron Schock who played in the NHL? I believe he had a brother, Danny, who also played. My old man built Esa Tikkanen's house back in the late 1990s, from Brendan. He made a comeback here. He came to training camp one year, maybe the early aughts, or late 90s. And he didn't make the team. He went back to Finland and played, I think, for a final year. But he is a great player. Whenever I think of Esa Tikkanen now, what I think of is they play that lousy Theron Fleury goal where he scores and he slides to center ice and he makes a big damn deal about everything. That was game 6. Esa Tikkanen scored in overtime. The Oilers won in game 7. They never play that game. I wonder why not. Well, the answer is the Flames have 3 games worth playing because they were good for them, and the Oilers have 300. That's just the way it is. I knew you were looking at me before I even glanced over.
Where else is there to look, Tide? It's not exactly a big room that we're in.
Tell me I'm wrong. You got like 3 games, 3 highlights. Beat Montreal, the Lanny goal, the Fleury goal, and maybe something Kiprasov did. By the way, they won the Stanley Cup. That goal was in.
Kipper was really good. Now,
great.
Fun fact. He was... everyone should know this, obviously, because the Flames traded for Kiprasov, and he wasn't
third round pick, I think.
And played for the
San Jose Sharks.
San Jose Sharks.
Yeah.
Know where Cooley came from? San Jose Sharks. And now he's got a .915 save percentage. Mika Kiprasov 2.0.
What's Wolf's save percentage?
I think he's hovering around the .895 range.
Oh.
But you know what?
Well, that seems a little off. Oh, my.
Don't care. Still better than any goalie the Oilers have.
Oh, my. That's the story there.
We got to, I think Lowetide, maybe you disagree. I feel like we would trade any goalie on this roster for Wolf in a heartbeat.
Yeah. But don't tell him that.
I won't.
You've definitely told me that already.
David says, hi, guys. What are the odds the Oilers coach will give the recalled H&H squared line the requisite ice time to succeed? David, that's like the only way this works as a fourth line with Savoy and Hutson and Howard is if they play it for 10 minutes at 5-on-5. If they don't, and I don't think they will, then I don't think it's going to work. But I love the idea of those 3. If you all you did was play them 10 minutes a night and give them 1 or 2 offensive zone starts a game, I think by the end of a 10-game period, you'd be laughing at what you thought you had and then what you had, because these guys are skilled. I watched a ton of all of them in the AHL. They're really, really good. You know, Quinn Hutson is way better than we thought he was. Ike Howard is a far better passer than I ever thought he was. And Matt Savoy has the toolkit. He's got a range of skills. I like the line. I hope they play it. Schock played same time as Sather. That's right. They would have played for Pittsburgh, I believe. I think both came from the Boston organization. They would have played for the Oklahoma City Blazers, along with Bill Goldsworthy, Derek Sanderson, Ross Lonsbury, Jerry Cheevers, Bernie Perrant, Dallas Smith, Don Orey. Maybe Greg Shepard would have played there too. There was an extremely good horse race called Tikkanen. Extremely good racehorse called Tikkanen. I mixed it up. Ron Schock played for the expansion Penguins from Mitt. Yes, he did. Ron Schock, Rick Kehoe, Sil Apps Jr., Daryl Edistrand, Sheldon Canagieser. Spell that. Les Binkley, Al Smith, Greg Polis, Lowell McDonald. He passed away the other day, I saw. Yes, a kid line is what we need from Wheels and Red Deer. Look, I don't know that it's going to last. I don't even know if they're going to play one game. But when you say, well, they're on the fourth line, so that's awful, I'm just going to say it actually would be brilliant if they played it as a fourth line, gave them 10 minutes, and did their best to get them out against a soft parade. Because with that kind of skill, they could do some damage. Anything new on Mangiapane? Looks like he's out again tomorrow. Yeah, no, I mean, now you've got to find an arrangement where he's willing to go to a town that's willing to play him, and then the Oilers have to be able to get some relief. If you're trading Mangiapane and it's for a third-round pick and there's no relief on the cap, then that, if you're trading for somebody who costs exactly the same, it better be somebody you can use. So you can make a trade, but can you make a trade that benefits you and what you want, which is to get all the money off the books? Would that be an H2S line? Well, I don't think we should name them yet. I think that's probably a bridge too far. Just my opinion. I think that's a bridge too far. And it takes a while to get the chemistry down. Like they're not going to just be lights out. I don't know that Matt Savoy would have played with Quinn Hutson much at all, if any at all. Probably a little bit with Ike Howard in training camp. It takes a while. Years and years ago, I talked to Norm Lacombe, who was traded from Buffalo to Edmonton. And when he got here, he was placed on a line with Mark Messier and Glenn Anderson. And they used to do back then, Anderson and Messier used to do this crossover at center ice where one of them would carry the puck and then they'd sort of push it ahead and it would be there. And then the other team didn't know who was going to take the puck and which way they were going to go, right? And they did it very effectively. And when Lacombe joined the line, he started doing it too, but there was a couple of near crashes. And so they said, maybe just leave it for the two of us and we'll go from there. But it takes a while for chemistry, I think. Now, we know that Howard and Hutson have lots of it because they play together a lot in Bakersfield with the Condors. I think Mangiapane for Aston Reese. This is from David. McDavid and Draisaitl are top dogs in the league, but it would be nice to see some young pups develop their own swagger. Might help secondary scoring. Just hope the kid line doesn't pick up deferral to the top dog sickness that periodically ails the Oilers. Well, I think the reason why you put one of the young guys on with a skill player eventually, like let's say you put Ike Howard on the McDavid line, is because then you really are doing what they said they were going to do, which is increase the talent on every line. So you're borrowing Nugent Hopkins for the third line. That's a hell of a benefit for the third line. And, Ike Brown's got skill. He can pass, he can shoot. What happened to this guy in the football game?
I wasn't watching. It looks, I mean, if I had to guess, it was a high hit.
Yeah, gotta be. Poor guy. Hope he's okay. Are we done?
Yeah, 154. Can you believe it?
I had more to say.
Well, go.
Well, no, it's too late now. I'll have to save it for
You've got 50 seconds, Al.
next Sunday, Monday, whatever day it is. You guys going to have fun this weekend?
I have fun every weekend.
Sure.
I will, but I won't enjoy it. All right. Thanks so much for tuning into the Lowdown. Jason Krueger on the way. Please enjoy your weekend, and we'll reconvene on Monday to talk about what a wild week it's been for the Oilers and all of sport.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by meals.loca.ca. Every fresh chef-crafted gourmet meal handcrafted from scratch with fresh ingredients, and it will arrive at your door fully cooked and ready to eat, and repeat. That's meals.loca.ca. Edmonton Oilers news: they've recalled Mike Howard and Quinn Hutson from the Bakersfield Condors, and they will play the Philadelphia Flyers tomorrow at 1:30. World Junior Hockey Championship. Sweden currently up on Latvia 4-1 in the second period. Switzerland and Czechia will get going at 2:30. Finland and the States at 4. And Canada, Slovakia at 6:30 in the final quarterfinal of the day. Golden Knights and Blues currently tied 1-1 at the end of the first in the NHL. Rangers and Panthers next up on the schedule at 6. Kraken, Canucks, and Wild Ducks both at 8:30. In the NBA, 2 games tipping off the action at 5. The Spurs in Indiana to take on the Pacers, and the Nets in Washington to take on the Wizards. The late games in the league will feature the OKC Thunder and Golden State to take on Jimmy Butler and the Warriors, and Memphis in LA to take on Rui Hachimura and the Lakers. College football scores right now: Rice with the ball, but trailing Texas State 27-7 in the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. Minute to play in the third in that one. Navy and Cincinnati will get going in half an hour. Arizona SMU at 6, and Wake Forest Miss State at 6:30. That's going to do it for us here on the Jason Krueger Show. On behalf of, on the Lowdown with Lowetide, on behalf of Josh Fenwick and Lowetide, I'm Declan Krueger. Up next is the Jason Krueger Show, and this has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West